Okay, so just going to give you a brief outline of a project that started in 2019 and continued through the pandemic. So I was born in Argentina, and I came to Australia when I was 7 years old, and I have a very strong connection still to my Argentinian culture through family and obviously I like to travel back to Argentina every so often, and I've always had this idea of doing a project that talks about that pendulation between my two cultures, Australia and Argentina. So what I did for this project, in 2019 I was travelling to Argentina. Before I left Australia, here in this studio, Baldessin studio, which is a very important space for me, it's where I produce most of my work, and I have a strong connection to the Australian landscape and particularly to this area. So I made a collection of book pages using eco-printing, just blank pages, and they've been dyed or boiled using gum leaves and the natural pigments and soil from the studio. So I made a whole heap of these book pages. I ended up with maybe 200 or 300 pages, blank pages. And I took them with me to Argentina. And when I was in Argentina, I did a trip up into the high plains, into the Atacama Desert region of northwest Argentina. And bringing the landscape is very important in my artwork. And for me, the landscapes of Australia and the landscapes of Argentina, I wanted to talk about that connection and the sense of place that I have in both countries. So I photographed that area. It's a high altitude region of Argentina. It's the corner of Argentina, Bolivia and Chile, where the three countries meet. That whole desert area, the Atacama Desert, it's an area that is full of salt pans and volcanoes and very incredible colours that are produced with the minerals of that area. It's an area that I travel to quite often and I feel very connected to. So I photographed that area, and then with my book pages I went to an art residency in Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina, and in this art residency I used these photos that I shot using a technique called photolithography, which is a lithographic process similar to photo etching, photogravure, but it's lithographic. And using colours of inks that gave me a connection with the minerals of the land, so copper, silver and gold. I printed over the pages that I had brought with me from Australia that had been eco-dyed in Australia, and I printed some of these images, some of the photos, directly onto the papers. And here's some examples of some of those, and you can see the silver and the copper colours and so forth. I then bound the pages into a book, Coptic binding, and this was the result. And obviously I have more than one of these little books. Well, I actually ended up with two. So this is the book. And because I only ended up with, a couple of books out of that whole project, when I came back to Australia and we actually went down into lockdown, the pandemic hit in 2020, and I wanted to somehow, think about the fact that I wasn't able to travel for a while. So what I did then is I rephotographed the book pages and turned them into a bigger body of work, which are these prints here. So you can see that these are the pages from the book in a larger format. And this became a whole new body of work, and it was called Here But There. For obvious reasons, I was here, but I was also there. And so these prints became a new body of work in themselves, based on the artist book that I created in Argentina. So that's an explanation of a whole concept from start to finish of one body of work.